Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless path of true love reading. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, 24 years in service, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, and you can preview it for free because there's a link in the description box. I'm a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle, streaming there every morning pretty much, cup of coffee and a bathrobe, talking about the day's astrology, magical and spiritual applications and all of that. At the time of this recording, because it is a timeless, we've got humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, and gods, goddesses as my subscription tiers. Having a lot of fun over there, building a wonderful community, having quite a bit of fun over there. So if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, go check it out, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hey, my crab cakes. How are you? Hope you are all well. And it's time for the Path of True Love reads. I know I took a break because I've been traveling, shifting homes, finding a new home for myself in upstate New York at the time of this recording at the end of July 2022. So I've been doing the Cancerian magic, so to speak, for house and home, fourth house. So if you are new to the channel, Path of True Love Read is about you. There's all sorts of information in the description box. I am a Virgo. I was raised by a Cancerian mother, so my deets are in order. There's a whole section of videos down there talking about Path of True Love, twin flames, soulmates, all that stuff. Because Path of True Love is another way of seeing The Love Revolution by Matt Kahn, if you want to go there, or The Awakening of Humanity, or The Manifestation of Heaven on Earth, Paradise Planet Earth, by us becoming the true love that we truly are. And that's a lot. So plenty of links in the description box if you want to go check it out. There is an extended read over on Vimeo.com, pay-per-view. Vimeo on demand, but all of my patrons, humans, heroes, angels, witches, and immortals, gods, goddesses, have access to the extended readings, past, present, and moving into the future. Just saying. So we're going to do a basic Celtic Cross. I call it an augmented Celtic Cross. For part one here on the tube of you. A basic Celtic Cross with my own spin on it. There is a preface to these readings explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing with the Celtic Cross and all of that. But the most important part of it is to get that, yes, this may be about a twin flame, a soulmate, a family member, a romantic, whatever. Path of True Love is about you. It's your hero's journey on the spiritual path through your relationships. So whoever crosses your path on the path of true love, they're there for a purpose, not a reason, and maybe a season and a lifetime. We'll see what hits the table. Just the idea of true love being the truth of who you are, and being the love that you are, which is what all our relationships are trying to teach us. Yeah, I know, I'm not thrilled either. But there you have it. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. This is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And let's see what hits the table. It's good to be back doing these. I love doing these. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, using the Caroline Mace archetype cards for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading. Please, pantheons, angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, higher selves of all involved and all of that, please, I need two archetype cards. One representing the Cancerian collective watching this video, receiving this reading. The other could be the cross watcher, or whoever is crossing the Cancerian's path in this read. So let's just say party number one, party number two. I'm going to assume that party number one will be the Cancer, but it could be flip-flop in a general read, just to clarify the rules. For my crab cakes and their cross watchers, cross-watching crab cakes, crab cake cross watchers in this timeless read. So who's party number one here? And who is party number 2 in this timeless path of true love? Great. Now, like I said, you're going to have to figure out, feel out, I would think, which one is you here. And this is in the title, right? Oh, the Messiah and the Engineer. We're off to an interesting start. The Messiah is definitely a divine family archetype member, the divine family of archetypes. The Engineer, the creative. There are 9 different families, sacred contracts, Carolyn Mace, brilliant, life-changing work. The shadow and the light. The shadow, it's indicated on here, the shadow attribute and the light attribute. The shadow is what you don't want to look at in yourself, in the situation, etc. Or if you do know about it, you don't want anybody else to know about it. It's a typical Cancerian gig. The light is what you're shooting for. It's all a scale of lead to gold. It's not 100% lead, 100% gold, 100% shadow, 100% light. But certainly this could be a very, very powerful working situation, and as I read these, you will see why. The shadow attribute of the Messiah, if you are self-employed, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Different than the martyr, but you know that you are the savior in a particular situation. Now, sometimes you may be the rescuer or the hero, or you know, all sorts of different archetypal roles coming through you if this is you. But the light, the Messiah, the light, serving humanity with humility. And humility is about knowing that you don't know, but you're willing to be shown, right? It's like, I don't know the whole quantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly of this. I only know what options are in front of me right now. So let me serve with humility. Let me serve humanity. And sometimes that's very much an inside job, just saying. And here we've got the Engineer crossing the path, or like I said, could flip-flop. The shadow attribute, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences, which isn't really fun for a Cancerian, although when you're all claws and shell coming at you, keep an eye on that if this is you. We've all had to rely on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. The Engineer is a creative family archetype in that you get to create your way through things, oftentimes, as indicated in the light attribute, ability to give creative energy a practical expression, a talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So not just problem solving, but a way of taking these common dilemmas, and that can be about interpersonal communication, right? It's a common dilemma. What one person says and another person hears, just as one of probably a billion different examples I could give here. So like a creative strategy person as well, as someone here who really can serve with humility and serve humanity with humility, which is bigger than just, you know, the people in your life that you know. So these are the archetypal bones, darling, upon which will hang the Celtic Cross. Now, usually I start with Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which this is 8th chakra hovering over the head, if you want to look at it that way. The satellite beaming down. These are the lessons being learned that's going to change the chakras. Inner and outer. The heart, third eye crown is the inside stuff, the feminine energy. Lower 3 chakras are the masculine stuff, the yang, the external. I used to do the Daughters of the Moon on that first, the yin first. Switched it. Gonna be doing the lower 3 chakras, because that's mostly what people on YouTube want to know about. If you want to go deeper, you know how. Cool. Please take a nice deep breath. So I do love a Celtic Cross. Still point. Here we go, as I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Cancer, powers of the West. Please, 10 cards, Celtic Cross, call them out as we go for this Messiah and Engineer on the path of true love. Now, whoever's watching this, they may resonate with both, and that's okay too. But gotta kind of feel out, then there's some mirroring going on there, really, so that they can clarify which one they are in this. Please, what covers lower 3 chakras, outside looking in, inside looking out, tribal relationships in the root, 101 relationships in the 2nd chakra, relationship to themselves and the world in the solar plexus, and we've got the Messiah with 6 of Swords. So we are looking at a mental journey in the physical world. If this is, you know, from the outside looking in at yourself, or maybe you looking on the outside with somebody else, you're from the inside looking out. This is about balancing the mind. This is about a mental journey from choppy water to smooth, right? Coming after the 5 of Swords, which can often be argumentative. This is the peace and that coasting. This can be about therapy. This can be about counseling. This can be about journaling, but it's element of air. So there's some good thinking going on there. That looks good. So let's see what crosses the engineer, crossing the path of the Messiah on the path of true love. Okay, well, we got the Emperor. Zeus. Okay. So what we've got here are 2, I don't know necessarily different people, but, you know, the Emperor with the Messiah would have been a lot trickier, unless this is the engineer here looking at the Messiah there as the Emperor. I'm not getting that as a vibe, though. That's the trouble with general reads. Private reads, I do them all the time, and these readings in particular I do a lot for people. So the Emperor is all the kings in the tarot, right? 4 elements. Swords, Wands, Cups, and Pentacles. So there may very well be a controlling, dominant thing here. Well, let's see. How often are emperors... what was that word we were looking at, darling? How often do they deal with things, make solutions with regard for emotional consequences? Not usually. We don't... It's patriarchal energy. It's father energy. It's husband energy. It's boss energy, right? Regardless of physical gender. So, you know, there's a creative solution here from the shadow to the light there. And I like that the Messiah might be very much on that journey of, you know what, I don't know the answer, but I'm willing to serve, whatever it's going to be. That with a side of tea. Spill it. Some pink lemonade and sit in the shade. All right. Lower 3 chakras, my gods, please. The unconscious influences. What's at the core of this? Probably shared lower 3 chakras between these 2 on the path of true love. Please show us the core. The sun. Okay, so there, though you may not be aware of it, a healing has taken place or is taking place in this situation. Lower 3 chakras, when it's a major arcana card, oh, I should have said this here. When it's a major arcana card in this particular kind of read, it represents all 3 chakras. Depending on the element, that could shift to 1 or 2 of them. But Major Arcana certainly speaks of all 3. So this really feels like this is the Emperor over here, but what you're both unaware of is you got Apollo. Now, Apollo is a very complex god. He's not just, well, he is the hot one. He's this god of the sun. Oh, and then Leo, right? Leo New Moon. Just did it yesterday at the time of this recording, 2022. He's the god of healing. He's the god of art. He's the god of prophecy. He's the god of a lot of stuff. The father of the muses. There's a whole lot going on there, but definitely a god of integrity. By the way, he's also the bringer of plagues. You know, well, they've all evolved since ancient Greece, apparently, right? So, you know, but the sun, I have to say, it's been said a billion times before. There's a wonderful YouTube video you can find called Secrets of the Tarot, narrated by Christopher Lee. It's a hoot. It's from the 90s. But they interview different readers on it. Patty McLean, I think it's Patty McLean on there. There's so many good ones on there. Who says that, and this is the first time I ever heard it, when the sun card comes up in any spread, it lightens, it lifts any other sort of like darkness in the deck. But you may not be aware of that. This is often the subconscious stuff, the stuff beneath the surface at the core. Let's see what's in your behind. Breathe. My gods, let's do this. What is behind the Cancerian collective and or cross watcher watching this video, receiving this reading, where they've been that got them to this crossroads? Well, 2 of Wands. There was some choices to be made here. Crossroads, more choices than life-changing decisions. That's the Lovers. The Lovers card is definitely more, well, that's the difference between a choice and a decision. Voltage, right? This is, I love this. This is Jason of Jason and the Argonauts standing outside of the Cave of Chiron, the Wounded Healer, the Centaur, the Kentor, the Teacher of Heroes, and actually the card of the Hierophant in this deck. So he's like, well, do I want to do this or not? Now, it's a way more of a life-changing decision. Do I go on a quest to retrieve the Golden Fleece or not? It takes a little introspection, a little time to figure that out. But he is a hero. And it's part of his fate that he'd be handed this, but does he take the call? Right? Do you heed the hero's call? So let's see. So far, nothing absolutely screaming romance here. Whoa, but that's why the extended, I got that new Voices of Ganesha Oracle that I got in Saratoga last time I was there a couple of weeks ago. So let's see what blocks can be removed in part 2. No, part 2, the extended is like Oracle Land. But you get another 10 Tarot Daughters of the Moon to see what's going on inside all this. Well, wise divination, and you got to admit, good marketing for Leo, right? Okay. My gods, we're having fun with this, though. This feels good with Apollo staring at me, staring at the back of my head. What's crowning this? What hovers over this, right? Ready to drop in. The more immediate future that a choice has to be made, obviously, in this read. And there we got the Lovers. And there we got the Lovers. There's your life-changing decision. Okay. So look, the thing about the Lovers is, and particularly in this deck, I think it absolutely illustrates a much deeper resonation with the Lovers card. It's the judging of Paris. Now, it's the guy, not the city. Paris, I don't think was there yet in ancient Greece. Maybe, I don't know. Please don't make me do history at the moment. But there was a golden apple. There was a wedding. The golden apple got chucked in by the goddess Eris, who was not invited because she's the goddess of discord and chaos, and, you know, wedding planners don't like that. The wedding of Cadmus and Harmonia, it's a very intense story. She writes on the apple to the most beautiful goddess, hucks it in, and these 3 goddesses go for it. Wouldn't it just be Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera? So the heart is Aphrodite, the head is Athena, and Hera is the throat chakra, the willpower, the queen, right? So he has to choose because none of the gods want to. So they say, get Paris up here because he's the fairest, whatever, man in terms of all that, whatever. Well, each one of the goddesses offer him something. Athena to absolute wisdom, which, you know, you could rule the world. Hera, power, right? Most powerful man, like political power, that kind of stuff. Queen of the gods, riches, all of that. And Aphrodite, the most beautiful woman on earth, to be your lover. Well, you know what he took, don't you? That's how he met Helen of Troy. Yeah, her face launched 1,000 ships. Which, that's some face. It's a lot of champagne. You know, so this is that kind of stuff. Like, his life absolutely changed. He started the Trojan War. If you didn't make that point, right? So, you know, and then Odysseus, right? Making his way home in the Odyssey from it. It's a lot from that one apple, but Paris is the one who made the choice. So what it's really about is, what's hovering here is, how do you make the most loving, Aphrodite, wise, Athena, empowered decision? That's what's hovering here. So I don't feel like this decision has been made. And again, just because it's the Lovers doesn't mean it's romantic. We'll see. I always hold off on that, because if that's the first place you jump to, then you're looking through a lens where you might be missing the angle. This could be a family member, a friend, a coworker, whatever. What's before you on the path, my gods? Please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. The Messiah and the Engineer meet on the road at this obvious crossroads. Like, this is very much a crossroads thing. Came from a choice, now is a decision. Where are they headed? What is before them on the path? Page of Cups, internal reflection. For me, it's Narcissus. I know the word narcissist. I'm well aware of it. Well, it started with his myth. And read the myth, because there's quite some interesting connections there, but also quite a leap. between what's going on here in the mythology and what's going on in the personality disorder. And there's a whole pantheon of narcissists. We're not talking about that right now, but there is very much messages coming in, and they are emotional messages, I would say, for sure, in terms of expression. Now, these could be love-oriented, or they could be ones that, from a place of self-reflection, right, to offer that cup of love to yourself. In other words, a Page of Cups, when I first learned it, right back in my Rider-Waite days, reading Handbook for the New Apprentice by Eileen Connolly, back when I was 12, started doing all this stuff when I was 12. Sorry, he wanted to come join the party, Aries. It was about birth news of a pregnancy, right, or a new birth, which I get it. But, you know, this is definitely more about some kind of message of love, or at least a message that has an emotional piece to it. But usually as a result of self-reflection first. Could also be offering yourself that cup of love. We'll see. So we got the cross. Let's look at the staff. My gods, please. What have you got for the lesson? What you would have them learn, lower 3 chakras. All right. 10 of Wands. There is a fulfillment of fire here. And yes, there is perhaps some of that feeling of burden that we often see in the 10 of Wands. This is Jason. I mean, he makes it. He makes it all the way, right? Well, look, from the 2 in the past to your lesson now being maybe dealing with some completion of the element of fire. The quest was completed, but what it took, right? What it took, that the Argo crashes on the beach, and that's what those 10 wands are the planks from it, that he's sitting there with the victory at his feet. This could be exhaustion. This could be you're done with this on a certain level, or you set out to complete something, and the lesson is now closing the deal in terms of that element of fire. So I kind of get that this life-changing decision you might be dealing with. Let me really tune to this. Empathic reads for collectives is tricky, but not so hard for Cancer, because I'm a Pisces moon. Like, this can be a bit of fed-upness. This can be a bit of, okay, now I got to this stage of the journey. The journey is not over in terms of the major arcana, but at least for the element of fire, it's like, I'm done with this for right now. It could very well be that. I need a break. Or it really is you're learning how to complete this particular quest of what you desire, your element of fire. All right, from the outside looking in, were we to look at this whole situation, how the world views this, not necessarily always so accurate. Perception is not necessarily reality. The sun does not really rise in the east and set in the west if the planet rotates on its own axis. So please, what do you got from the outside looking in? Lower 3 chakras, relationship in the physical world for the Cancerians. Okay, another Knight. You got the Knight of Pentacles here, the Virgo card, but this doesn't necessarily mean this person is a Virgo. I will say, doing the spread this way, going with this mythic tarot first, these are people in the physical world. Certainly could be you from the outside looking in, but if it's talking about what's going on here, without necessarily being one or both people here, it could be saying that this is a slow and steady wins the race kind of deal. The 4 knights of the tarot are on horses because they travel at different speeds. Virgo, mutable earth. Pisces, mutable water. Sagittarius, mutable fire. Gemini, mutable air. Walk, trot, canter, gallop. All right, so this is the slowest moving one. You hear it a lot, but it's less likely to stumble. There are beehives in the background. That takes a while. Have a chocodile. It takes a while to eat a chocodile, right? This can be walked, right? Instead of a chaser or a runaway, There's a third option, folks, and that's the walkers, right? The walkers of Dimbley. Let's just walk. Let's just take this one step at a time and slow this down and do it precisely. Right? Time is my ally. Time is my friend, my companion and lover, beginning to end, which means when we can relax into and make time our ally, we can slow things down, because how often when we're rushing and trying to get things done, do we forget to cross T's and dot I's, said the Virgo. Yeah. All right, I like that, though. It's healthy. 6th house, Virgo dynamic. Health and occupation, because your health affects your occupation, and what you're occupied with in any way, shape, or form certainly has an effect upon your health physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So I think this is going to be a key card, the 9th position, the hero's journey aspect of it, your hopes and fears, which is really about your destiny and your fate, because you're afraid of suffering your fate, and you hope you're going to manifest your destiny. So let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, my gods, please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, perhaps they're cross-watchers. What's going on outside looking in their destiny, the fate, the destiny hewn from fate, if they take the hero's journey, which it looks like there's a journey going on here, and whether this lasts for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, they are definitely learning how to close the deal on this one with that 10 of Wands in the lesson position. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, on the hero's journey of the path of true love, they are in the moon. It is cloudy with a chance of Hecate. Hecate, one of my goddesses of the sign of Cancer, of course. I got her earring on right here. The earring of Hecate, the witch at the crossroads, the queen of the crossroads, I call her. She is both maiden, mother, and crone, 3 phases and faces of the moon. So, of course, it is your card. Well, if you're the Cancerian, this is your card. It is the moon. You are moon children. So, there might be a very, very strong intuitive deal here, right? But like I said, if it's lower 3 chakras, major arcana card, it's all of them, right? Where this would definitely, I would think, be more solar plexus, element of fire, right? Knight of Pentacles definitely could be more element of earth, root chakra. This really, really is about, there's some hidden stuff. And the hidden stuff doesn't always mean there's deceit. It might mean that there are deeper things going on here. And by the way, you've got the sun hidden in the moon. So, you know, this is a very solar, lunar read, a very divine masculine, divine feminine vibe here, just within your own energy field. So absolutely pay attention to your dreams and your intuition and your feelings, because you have to make what? you have to involve those 3 chakras, right? How you feel, what you're thinking, and if they're not congruent, that's okay. It takes a while to get them into congruency, to make the most, because here are the 3 speeds of the throat chakra. Spit, swallow, and chew. Do you spit it out and do it? Do you swallow it and say no? Or do you chew on it, right? Those are the options available, I would think. So let's see the outcome here, considering the destiny. Come on, and don't freak. How many heroes know exactly how the journey's going to end? None of them. It's not much of a hero's journey without demons, dragons, villains, vampires, and a crap ton of not knowing. Breathe. Still point. My beloved gods of water, sign of Cancer, powers of the West, most probable outcome, this timeline of this lifetime on the path of true love for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, the Messiah and the Engineer. The 9 of Cups, all right, a wish fulfillment card, lovely, but it can also very much be emotional fulfillment within yourself, right? The 10 of Cups is your ecstasy, right? You're just 10 of Cups, little kids spinning under a rainbow and whatnot. This really, really, really feels good. Now, just like the 9 of Pentacles, he or she who has their own, right, very, very self-sufficient, this could very much be a wish fulfilled in your life I won't say regardless of what the other one does, whoever is who in this, but that the Nine of Cups, there is some real emotional satisfaction here, but it's a 9, not a 10. But that's good. If particularly someone said he wins the race, if you know you're heading for a 9 of Cups, then take it easy. Take it easy. Be running down the road trying to loosen your load. Got 7 bow hunks on my mind. All right, we've got 3 more cards left to do. 2 Whispers of Love Oracle, and of course a Matt Kahn Healing Mantra. Why would I get you a Matt Kahn Healing Mantra? But believe me, the extendeds are going to be off the hook, particularly with the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. This will be the first time me doing them in a reading on YouTube. Excited. All right, Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves of each, instead of for the higher selves of all involved. This is the higher self for the Messiah here, the engineer here. Breathe. I'm so glad it's ending with a 9 of Cups for y'all, my crab cakes. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, but specifically for the Messiah and the engineer in this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Path of true love reading, timeless path of true love reading. What is the piece of information, inspiration, insight needed for the Messiah with the 6 of Swords, and for the engineer with the Emperor? And by the way, before I do this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not predominant. Well, I guess it is sort of predominant major arcana. More than you've got water. You've got 1 water card, 2 fire cards, 1 earth card. Yeah, that would be about it, right? Wait, 1. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Wait, hold on. 1. Please don't make me count. 2. No, only 2 water. 2 fire, 1 earth. There's no, oh, and the 6 of Swords there. So you have a balance of the elements. At least they're all on the table. So let's see what your higher selves have to say for the Messiah. Energy's high on this one. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Now, with the 6 of Swords, you may be bringing that into a balance, figuring out how to do that, right? Making the journey mentally, intellectually, psychologically, as you will, very third eye, except, you know, an air sign, that's about how you communicate in the world, whether it's to a group of people, another person, or how you just express yourself. So make a genuine effort to show you care. I think that's lovely. For the Emperor, the engineer Emperor, back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to evaluate what you want. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. So again, this is a slow and steady wins the race deal, I'm going to say, from the outside looking in, if people were to look at what was going on here. Now, this could certainly lean romantic. We still have 1 more card, but Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck doesn't necessarily call that stuff out as other decks do. Besides, that's not divination, that's a healing system, as is the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. So we are really looking at something here. Regardless, you're headed towards the 9 of Cups, but doing this, understanding that there is great healing and happiness available here, that you may just need some time, 1, to be supportive, the other to really evaluate, particularly from the Emperor point of view. That's going to depend on whether there are considerations for emotional consequences. Can't control what someone else is going to do. Trust me. I tried. I burned out on it. It doesn't work. You can only choose from the options available in the game in the moment. So you play the game as best as you can. So let's get you a healing mantra. Just 1. Doesn't matter which side that you're on here. Doesn't matter if the other person knows the mantra. This is for whoever's watching this. Remember, Path of True Love is about you. Because every time you heal, it shifts every relationship in your life. Yeah, it may seem like on a micro level, and it might not be for another year, but they change. Breathe. Still point. as I call to the Ascended Masters of the Path of True Love. The True Love Ascended Masters, which is truth and love. It is the Lover's card, right? Truth and love in action, right? The choices and decisions that we make. So please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What is their perfect healing mantra for this Messiah and this engineer heading for the Nine of Cups, being supportive and getting back to what they love? And maybe this is, there's been some diversions and now it's coming back together. This could easily be family. This could easily be a friend. This could easily be a lover. So please clarify for the Cancerian collective and cross watcher in this timeless True Love read. Embodying my soul, I have a right to be excited. You do have a right to be excited. This is a really fun mantra. Yay! I have a right to be excited. Embodying your soul, because your soul is excited. But there's the human, the hero, the human, right? The hero, the immortal, and the god goddess. This is just my take on spiritual evolution. It's really one thing. We're all that. We're all that with the symbolic archetypal side of fries. So the human ego, the heroic personality, the immortal soul, embodying my soul, and the higher self, God, goddess self, whatever you want to call it. So you do have a right to be excited, but it's hard to be excited when it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Hecate meatballs, those are chthonic. Boogie, oogie, oogie. Look it up. Chthonic. So I don't know how to spell it right at this moment, but I did open right to the bookie book, Embodying My Soul. I have a right to party. I was in college when that song came out. When your soul is embodied, you are grateful to be alive. You are aware of life as a precious opportunity to experience the frequency of your own light through the unique attributes and characteristics and senses of a person. In other words, you get that you're an immortal being on some level, even if it's not all up here, right? That this is a soul journey I'm on. I get the opportunity to shine my specific frequency in a human body just to experience all of it. That's why it's not just coming in for all the fun stuff, because too much fun stuff turns into not so much fun stuff, if you've noticed. I don't know that it works the other way. As your soul becomes embodied, you are elated to be a part of life's cosmic play, no matter how bad things seem. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not feeling it, this mantra can feel a little wonky at first, but what it brings up, I just like, well, I want to be excited. I want to embody my soul, and that moves you forward, because that's who you are. You're way more, your true authentic self is way closer to your soul and your higher self than your personality and your human ego. Just saying, that's how it is. I didn't write that rule. This mantra is ideal for developing courage to follow the heart, finding your inner voice, and feeling safe in your body. I have a right to be excited. Now, for some of you, ding! If you're looking at this through the romantic sexual lens, then you have a right to be excited about this, regardless of what the other person does. It's not necessarily predictive, but with that Nine of Cups, and you know the Nine of Cups, you've been watching videos on YouTube, that there is a wish fulfillment here, but the journey there is going to be slow and steady, and right now the destiny is hidden by the moon unless you really go with your intuition. It is, after all, your card. At the three where the three roads meet. Oh, dear, dear, dear. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put it all together in a bless summation. BLESSUMATION. Thank you, Kimberly, one of my patrons on Patreon. Named that process, I think. Yeah, it was her. I'm going to put it together in a summation with a bit of a blessing using the magical hardware, and then we'll chat a little bit at the end if you want to stick around for it, because the last minute or so is I just let loose, and then I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to dive into the extended reading. Cool. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. I hear you. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, so that through this path they anchor more true love into their lives and more true love onto planet Earth in a time when it so very much needs it. Both truth and love in balance. That the Messiah can take this journey to serving humanity with humility, right? To serve on this mental journey. It's like, I'm serving humanity with humility, and this engineer is part of humanity, apparently. And so that the engineer can embrace their ability to give creative energy a practical expression with a talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas here with the Emperor, right? It feels like they're large and in charge in some way, shape, or form, but what they let them become aware of the subconscious at the core here. There is healing, there is health, there is joy, and they have a right to be excited about that. They may not get it all up here, but down here it's take the journey, take the road, because a choice has been made here. And obviously the choice, one would say, Six of Swords, to kind of do the mental journey here. The choice for the Emperor maybe to get it all together and, you know, put forth a plan that actually works here, resolution to what might be a very common relationship dilemma that we all go through. With the Lovers hovering here, there's a life-changing decision to be made, so it makes sense, at least for a Cancerian reading, that there would be some emotional reflection here, but with messages of love, verbally spoken or felt, given and received. But nonetheless, where they are right now, they are at the end of a cycle of fire. There might even be some exhaustion, some burnout here, hence giving them the time to take that Page of Cups in however that is meant to be, but also knowing that they did complete something. This Two of Wands has completed itself here in the Ten of Wands, or perhaps they're learning how to do that because it is the lesson the gods would have them learn. And from the outside looking in with that Virgo Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. Service, Virgo, service, particularly for the Messiah, to serve with humility, to know that you don't know, but you're willing to be shown. It's okay to not know. It is. It's okay to not know. That's a journey for you. Luke, your son is Darth Vader. Scene 1. It wouldn't have gone well. You know, here we go. We've got a sorry, spoiler at this point, because we do have Hecate here in the Destiny. The Destiny is intuitive, if not shrouded, cloudy with a chance of chthonic. C-T-H-O-N-I-C, I think. Chthonic meatballs. But it does lead them to this Knight of Cups. So the more that the Messiah can be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care. That doesn't mean being a people pleaser. It means checking in. I do check-ins with people, with family. Hey, how you doing? Can't do it all day long. Got work to do. But I can make a genuine effort to at least show, right, that I care. And this engineer, getting back to what they love, they're being given an opportunity in this situation to reevaluate what they really, really want. And if the more they can embody the soul, it is true for all of us, that we have a right to be excited. They have a right to be excited about the path, about who they're becoming, about their own spiritual evolution through this particular soul contract, whether it's twin flame or soulmate, and they're not the same thing. And there are links in the description box that they might want to check out, not just by me, but by other people, so that they can make the wisest, most loving, most empowering decision. And as they do, may they be blessed with all that they need to do that they raise their own vibration, that they become their own living cardinal water manifested Cancerian versions, unique frequency of true love in form, doing the best that they can be and fulfilling their role in this contract, in their own contract, as well as helping to heal everyone on planet Earth by bringing more true love to the electromagnetic grid of Gaia for the well-being of all. This covers a lot, huh? And with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. All right, comment. Who is this person to you? Which are you? Who are they? And which archetype is which, right? But if you liked it, hit the thumbs up and like it. Help the other crab cakes find it. If you want more of me on YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I put these out when they're done. Particularly, I'm getting ready to move my house in the next month or so, maybe 2 months, I don't know. We're figuring all that out as it goes. Talk about a slow and steady wins the race, right? So absolutely hit the notification bell. You'll know when I put something out. And if you want to jump over to the extended, you can do it on Vimeo.com, or you can get all of them, past, present, and future, on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. I highly recommend it. I'm good, and I am serving every single day. Like you said, I'm a Virgo, if I haven't mentioned it before. So if you want deeper magic, deeper miracles, deeper mysticism, and more Mal, come Patreon. On Patreon, I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Oh my God. And if you want to book me for a private reading, link in the description box of video here on YouTube. Booking your reading with Mal explains it all for you. How to book it, what I charge, how to prepare yourself, and how to cool down afterwards. In fact, it explains it all for you, just like Clarissa. I will find a better joke, I swear. Otherwise, Nickelodeon, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed. I love my crab cakes. What do you mean by that? Who's Clarissa? Google it. I love you. Good luck on the path of true love, and do comment, because I want to know who's who on this, because it's fun to know. Have at it. I love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed day.